Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Super Robot Wars archives. My name is Austin, and today we have another entry into Super Robot Wars Alpha. We're going to begin Chapter 3. Last time we just finished up in the Photon Laboratory, securing ourselves the Mazinger, which I probably could have gained a little bit sooner than I did. Well, I think that was the Great Mazinger in the background portrait, so I guess they're going to change every time. We saw the Combator and the Voltace last episode, but we didn't actually interact with them. But yeah, now we theoretically have the Mazinger Z. I'm curious how it's going to work with the hover piloter and whether we have to like launch them as separate units and the Mazinger is just like sitting there dead without us doing anything. I'm curious, we'll see. If there are Gundams in this game, and I can't imagine there wouldn't be, and if there are Getters in this game, and I couldn't imagine why there wouldn't be, I'm pretty sure I've seen them on the front cover of the box. We're probably going to get them in pretty short order. They usually come pretty quickly, so I'm imagining we're going to have... I guess we're on the Super Robot route right now, so we probably are going to get the Getter, and then when we'll... If we'd picked real robots, I wonder if we'd been on a different scenario route, and like maybe that's... We would do like Double Zeta or something. And then when we meet up. So are there... I guess there are 4... So right, yeah, we have 8 protagonists. Divide those in half. We've got 4 for Super, 4 for Real. We've got probably like 2 boys, 2 girls in each of those. And I'm assuming there's probably like the Huckabine and the Gespenst. Yeah, they're okay. Those are Getter pilots. They're not the ones I'm used to, but those are definitely Getter pilots. They look like visual novel. Like the like hairstyles especially look like not visual novel, point and click adventure characters. Oh yeah, but if there are then 4 protagonists per bucket of Super and Real, maybe we divide them into gender where, right, Brooklyn and what was her name? Not Mizuha, that's her last name. Kusuha? Was it a Z? Was it a S or a Z? I don't remember if there was a 1010 on that katakana. But right, so if we'd picked her, would we also be in the Grungas? And then I guess what's the other Super? I don't know. Maybe I'm like acting like it's a big deal that we have. I'm not acting like it's a big deal that we have the Grungas, but maybe that is just sort of like one of the standard ones. And I'm just used to seeing like the Huckabin or the Gespenst as the quote main character unit for this series when it's not something like Cybuster, right? There's a lot of yapping. I wonder if we'll get Michiru. I always really wanted the Getter Q to be good, but it's... I'm pretty sure in 2, even if you... So for data gathering purposes, I'm working on a... Hold on, let's pause and step back like 3 steps. We'll hopscotch back our way towards what I was originally saying. So I'm data gathering for 2. That's almost done, but that's like getting put on pause and working on it very intermittently as I'm doing everything else. So I wouldn't expect to see that anytime soon, but who knows? We'll see. It's a short game. So in data gathering, I pretty well always will just give myself like I will code in max funds, code in like max levels just to like make the game move faster. And giving Michiru and the Getter Q in 2 complete box max parameters through upgrades, I think it still is performing worse than most of the other units in the game without upgrades. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. And I get it's more supposed to be like a fan service unit that it's like, oh, cool, this like character, this like one-off character. I don't know how often she shows up in the show. But right, like it's not like the main character, right? That it's just like cool to get to see her more than it's like mechanically sound to get to see her. Oh, there he is. Okay, I did not realize that was what he looked like underneath the helmet. Yeah, like this collection of portraits of them is like what I recognize. I did not realize that they looked so odd. I thought that was like another iteration of the Getter pilots. Oh, okay, we're just going. Cool. Well, let's take a look at all 3 of our getter units. What is this? This is the Eagle. Is this Flyer? I don't know what the... Since, I'm sure I'll know exactly once I get off screen, but... This is the... Eagle. Isn't it Liger? And... Boar. Yeah, okay. So, we are definitely more mobility-based, which makes sense when we're like, in these little pod deals. We have combination. I wonder if we're allowed to combine right away. Willpower's fine. Or sorry, I guess that's guts, not willpower. And we have roughly the same thing that the Piloter was doing. Our damage is distributed a little bit differently. And Flash, that feels pretty standard on Hayato. And yeah, same thing. I'm guessing they're probably all going to have those missiles. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And though it looks like the Boar is the most accurate of them all. Right, that was 45 and 40. This is 40 and 35. That feels weird. I'm used to thinking of Getter 2 as the most, like, accurate, but maybe this is to try and, like, account for the fact that Musashi has worse accuracy. Right, 139. Yeah, okay, so we're at 148 and 152. I see, yes. Okay, so that's in fact actually not a buff. That is to keep him aligned with the rest of the team. He's got Spirit, which we'll definitely use if we're allowed to combine. But we are not. Okay, that's probably gonna have to be like a story deal. Or maybe that's one of the SR points. I don't love that the game isn't like telling me what's happening there. Like I wish it would at least acknowledge the SR points that I'm getting. What is this? Is this like auto queuing them? I think it's probably like auto queuing them. Yeah. Okay, so this is if they get on to the... We're defending this area again. Here's the Saltome Institute. But it's presumably only 4 tiles this time. Yeah, it's just this one, that one, this one, and that tile. That's not a great way to show that, but yep, those are the tiles. It's those ones. Let's see how badly we fare against this battle. Is this just bat, or is it actually called a batto? Love that song. It's so good to hear these old tunes. Like, don't get me wrong, like the new openings are good too. Yeah, if you're a deep watcher of... Oh boy, okay, our damage numbers feel pretty inflated. If you are a deep lover of this channel and you've watched everything, you've heard me talk about a job I used to have sometimes where I would like clean some stuff up like after like parties or events. And I'm fine going here. We'll just have these at like these positions to then be ready for the bats that are coming in. You can presumably do them fall the other 2 flyers. But yeah, at that same job. Oh, never mind. I didn't catch that. Well, that's a shame. Okay, so we got to put someone on there. Right, so I think we still do that with Getter 1, and then move the other 2 probably onto those 2. Yeah. I see what I gotta do. I thought I highlighted over and saw that was not going on there, but I mustn't have. It must have all been in my mind. Reload? Hey, game. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'll have to make better plans for like if we need to reload because I don't know what we're keeping out of that. And if I can help it, I don't want to keep anything. But I feel like that one little baby bit of farm is gonna be fine. Okay, so the Eagle can still take out a Bato, and that is sort of accounting for it needing to stand on that tile, right? And then we can make sure if we can see if the Boar and definitely the Liger need to go on. The Liger needs to go on one of the tiles, and we'll see if the Boar needs to go on another one. Or maybe we're just supposed to charge them. Maybe I'm like playing 2%. The game is telling me to embrace my nature of wanting to just, like, charge faster. Man, it does feel good to be playing these old ones, too. I guess we could just charge it. But if it... Actually, hold on. Wait. I was gonna say, if it doesn't kill, we're kind of... No, we are kind of sunk if it doesn't kill. Yeah, so, right, like... If it is lethal, we're safe on these tiles. But if it's not lethal, we could have one of the other ones follow up and kill it, but then one of the other tiles is not exposed. So, I think this is our best play. Without, like, good information on what's happening. And then we can just annihilate those two next turn. I'm more incentivized to have Ryoma get extra stuff, as we're probably going to be in Getter 1 the most, and then we're going to get Musashi the other kill, because I'm more likely to be in Getter 3, assuming that this Getter still works the same way that the other Complete Box ones do. Getter 3 is probably the most cracked unit. Just, I mean, maybe not compared to the Grungust, but I'm pretty sure I've called it this name before. This is like what it's been in my head, but I could be hearing the Japanese one. The Dai Setsusan Orochi. I definitely know it's Orochi, or like Orochi. But I'm pretty sure the first word is Dai Setsusan. It's busted. It's the bee's knees. It's base 2400 power in previous games and has no energy requirements. It has a morale cost, but not even that steep of one. And terrain actually matters a lot more in these games. The Getter 3 its whole thing is about being able to do stuff in water. So if you can get it into Getter 3 and toss it in the water, even without any armor upgrades, enemies are regularly doing like 10 damage to you, and then you also have a like one-shot attack. It's very good. There we go. Great. Let's have a car crash. I probably said this before because I just love this fact. But oh, hold on, sorry. We're gonna watch this first. I think they had to make this for the game, right? Because like this CGI is, I don't think, in any show. There he is. Love it so much. That caped devil horned hero. Okay, I just wanted to know they were gonna do that. They were gonna transition that from the map, but. Okay, now the question is, can we separate again? We can. Cool. Well, let's take a look at the Getter. Let's take a look at the Getter together. Getter 1. It has 1300 armor, which we've said has been pretty decent so far. It both has Transform and Separate, so we can switch back and forth between the Getter 1, 2, and 3, which we'll look at in a second. What else we got going on? It doesn't have any regen, which is unfortunate, but everyone's still got their SP, like their spirits like they did before. Oh yeah, here, so we can see Hayato already. He has, what, 271 for dodging, and our limit is 250. So if we're gonna go into Getter 2, actually, we'll look at it in Getter 2. The Getter are like some of the hardest to have to like talk about, well, because they work so. They work perfectly. Like, all of it makes sense. It's just hard to have a conversation about because each of them is the sub-pilot for the other one, but is the main pilot for themselves. So, like, they have stats, but, like, their stats don't contribute if they're not the main pilot. Right? Like, it makes sense, but, like, looking at the screen, it's like, are we adding all these together? Do we take the best versions of them? Like, what's happening? Okay. We have mostly one-range post-movement, but we have the Tomahawk. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Is this the Tomahawk Boomerang? Tomahawk Boomerang. And this doesn't have ammo? That's nice. Typically, this has had ammo in the past. Yeah, well, like, one of the downsides of the Getter was just that it didn't have any, like, good ranged options, or it didn't have good ranged options. That it had a couple of them, but it usually had, like, 3 or 4 ammo, and it would run out really quickly. I guess here it is, but like 10 ammo is definitely defensible. Please hold while I have a break for water. I'm like used to going much longer now because of streaming, but like that is not an excuse to like ignore my body. Okay, much better. Missile machine gun, great. And of course, the getter beam. This also has a 40 energy cost. It's a little expensive. That's fine. Sorry if you heard a click. That was my water bottle. Okay. Let's look at the Getter 2. Notably, the Getter 1 flies. The Getter 2 probably could go under the ground. Yes, it can. That's going to keep it safe from combat. It's a good way if it's like been in combat and is like taking a lot of hits for us. We can toss it underground and then move it back to the rest of our units to like get it healed or something to keep it safe. It does mean it can't participate, but it means that for both ways. But oh yeah, so the Getter 2 does have 270 limit, but that means we're still 1 point over. So right, our limit is actually our dodge is actually 270 here, not 271. So if we're gonna go into the Getter 2, we should probably upgrade its limits up. What else we got? Yeah, and the Getter 2 is usually like more mobile. It has, like I think we saw, it has a higher chance to dodge. It has longer ranged attacks. It has higher movement. But the trade-off then is that it typically does less damage. All right. Oh, that's interesting that it puts it in like a rotating cube rather than just changing up the positions. Okay, are you busted in half? Oh, actually, sorry, hold on. I looked over this because I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't address it. This is the Getter Vision. Yeah. Getter Vision historically has been a percent chance to just, irrespective to your dodge stat, a percent chance to just dodge an attack. Sometimes all three of them will then also have open get as a way to do that a second time, but does not seem to be so here. Though we will gladly take Getter Vision. Again, it's not something we can really rely on, but it will come in handy every once in a while. It is definitely the kind of ability that you are going to respond to through the turn that follows it, rather than have a turn planned to get it, you know? Okay. Does the Daisatsu's Orochi? Yes, it costs no energy. Okay, the morale cost on it is much steeper. 130 is unasked. But if we can find a way to consistently get to this, and we have a lot of water scenarios, the Getter 3 is going to clean up, I promise. Okay, let's get you in the air. So one of the other things... Oh, we separate. Okay, well, I was going to say, one of the other things I wanted to check is what's happening when we're separating. Can we keep going back together? So I know it's a bit of a downside that we're going to have to launch all of the Getter... We're going to have to launch all three of those units separately, but the Getter probably didn't need help by having other units. Like, the Getter can now attack 3 times a turn. 2 of them are not going to be great, but it can attack 3 times a turn now. And it probably didn't need that assistance, so like maybe it's probably balanced that it needs to take up 3 deployment slots. We have the zoo coming in from the water. Its movement. Okay, that's really far away, because I don't think it's actually good in the water. The Bato probably should be our first priority, because it just has high movement. Yeah. So let's go over there. Okay, I can rotate through enemies. That's nice. We're probably gonna have to use those Qs a lot. Let's stay in Getter 1, because once the Bato moves, we will also be in range to then move and get it. Like, we can get to it on our next turn. We could have switched to Getter 2 to get some more movement, but we didn't need to. Okay. Yeah, we just take this damage. We would prefer to take damage if we can help it rather than dodge, because I'm pretty sure getting hit will give us some more morale, and we want to get up to that 130 as soon as possible. We also only need to get to 120 because Musashi has Spirit on him, so that'll jump us up that'll jump us up a tap. We only get 1 instance of it right now, but once we also get Musashi to 80 SP, yo, that's so good. That flapping is so clean. Once we get Musashi up to 80 SP, we can also just do 2 shots of Spirit really quickly. assuming that the rest of his spirits aren't worthwhile. But it's hard to fight with a 3,000 power weapon that also like effectively has damage multipliers on it because it's good in water. So if we're in the water, it's going to like just absolutely house whatever we were fighting. That is definitely a downside of the Getter. That Getter 1 typically is not the most accurate. So I think we're going to risk the Tomahawk. The Getter Tomahawk, not the Tomahawk Boomerang, just because it's the most accurate of our weapons at plus 30. I guess other than the missile, we could... Hold on. No, we can't missile from here. We're too far away. And we saw that 1,400 damage was lethal before, so 1,600 surely will be. Using the Getter Beam is a little overkill. And I'd rather have the accuracy, because we want to get this cleared as fast as possible. I also didn't look and see if it had 800 HP. I just sort of took for granted that it was going to because the other bats did. Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. Every time I need to use a spatula, I do shout that in my kitchen. I do flip a little trick and then I'll toss it up, or I'll like throw it backwards and try and catch it. I would love to upgrade to do that with my skillet, but my skillet is also like cast iron skillet. That seems risking my toes for no reason. Yeah, I wonder what our SR point is here. It surely can't be that we were like supposed to not combine the Getter, because we didn't combine it. The game did. Okay. Hopefully this isn't a kill, so that I can show up what I was talking about. But this is also what I meant about like having interesting units. I mean, like it just makes the unit really fragile here. But the fact that the Sai doesn't have a one-ranged attack in the air is like, oh, like that incentivizes me to make some better choices, right? Like I could send a just crummy, absolute trash flying unit, or if we like get something. Sorry, I got distracted. I need to pause and look at the Getter Beam. If we get something like, you know, Barry from 0080. Barry? Barney? I think it's Barry. You know the guy. The guy. Of the two main characters, the masculine one. He only moved one space? That was weird. But he usually starts at a really low level. So we will, if we need to grind him up, right? Like we could do that on like a side like this, because we could just send something that's flying. He just like can't interact with it at all. Okay, so here let's show off the. Yeah, we'll show off a couple features. So we're gonna separate. Notice that we have 60 energy and what? We're short 30-ish HP. When you separate, that is going to divide it evenly between all of the rest of our pilots. And sometimes because of like how numbers fall off, when you come back together, that's going to make it such that you're going to end up having less HP or less energy than you did before you separated. It won't be a lot of a difference, but you can like weasel some numbers down by accident. Or maybe on purpose. Like it is. I remember in GC that one of the pilots I had like just ludicrously high potential. So rather than pumping up their armor the most, I just like jacked up their HP as one of the first stats they had. And I think it was the Baldios. No, sorry, no, not Baldios. The Dantalion. No, that's a demon from the Goetia. Not Ditarn. Daltanius. We got there, but Daltanius. It had, I believe the main character had like a ludicrous potential stat. So I would just like transform them, untransform them, transform them, untransform them. Or sorry, separate, combine, and just like keep inching his HP down to get through potential levels. So that I was like hitting a the level of potential earlier than the combat would otherwise suggest to like get some extra defense in. It was fun, it was neat. Okay, so here's the other thing with combination and separation. So we used the Getter 3 for that, kind of. I'm curious to see, yeah, so we still have a full action with the Getter 1 now. I'm worried that if we switch to the Getter 3, that will be, like, we will switch into someone who has already taken their turn, so we won't get to do anything. but you can, like, that's like a way to get some like free extra like action economy in here. This attack is okay. This attack is C in the water, but I'm still used to the tomahawk taking up ammo. So I was like, we shouldn't do this. This is a waste of it C in the water. But I'm willing to throw this out because it is free. We might get shot in the face by a missile, but like it probably won't do that much damage. And again, once we switch to the 3 and go in the water, we'll be fine. Yeah, the zoo is usually pretty tanky. It does remind me a lot more of a like Godzilla-style kaiju than necessarily like from Getter, but like I've also not seen all the Getter enemies, so maybe that is just the vibe. But like it reminds me of like I definitely went to some toy shows as a kid where I saw some like Godzilla toys or figures, and it reminds me of like I could like I can smell the plastic, I can feel the like the little nubbins on the like outside of that toy. And I think it's exactly that. It's exactly that feeling. But yeah, we want to charge to the water as fast as possible. Perfect. Yeah, we'll do this. We want to charge to the water as fast as possible to try and keep it in the water. And keep it from moving, because if it starts moving out onto land and starts charging the base, then we are going to... the Getter 3 is going to be much worse off. It still has an A for the Orochi attack on land, but it usually doesn't have a good land performance. I didn't check that. I guess I'm also taking for granted that we're supposed to be defending the Photon, or the Photon Lab, the Saitomi Institute. I'm just sort of gathered that from last stage. I've not seen that attack before. That's very Getter, that we're just like, oh yeah, you're like cool superhero. You have like an axe instead of a sword. You shoot like laser beams. What's your other attack? A gun. God, I love them so much. Okay, so let's switch to Getter 3. And... right, I mean, I guess, again, let's separate. And then we can make these attacks. Just to, like, again, get some free extra chip in. And then we need to combine on the Getter 3 to then keep the Getter 3 as the active unit. Right? Like I think it's because each of these piles can take an action. I'm assuming that the like downtime or like the having like your action consumed is gonna relate to the tank. So if we switch to like so now in this case if we switch to Hayato as our main pilot for the Getter, the Getter would then just be out. It would be already been used this turn. At some point we should check that to make sure, but that is the premise under which I'm operating. The only reason I would care about that being slightly different, like, the only reason that would actually matter is to get some extra, like, morale built up on a character, right? So if we can have them take out, if they destroy a unit while in jet form and then can also take an action as their regular form, then we might be able to, like, build up some extra morale. That's, like, the first thing I can think of with it. Because it's not like any of the attacks on these jets are particularly inspired. And right, so like we're gonna plan these like basic attacks out around whichever of the Getter forms we want to use the most, and then let the other ones. I mean, even still, like this is still fine. Right, this is still A in water. Actually, we never looked at the zoo. Let's see. Yeah, it has a B in water and. All of its attacks are C in water. Like this is gonna pick us for sure. I guess let's stand here if this is still water. Yeah. Nope. Please. Nope. Good gracious. Okay. Yeah, like this won't be lethal. I guess we don't get to see the big attack, but that's fine. That is definitely a downside, especially because I like to try and get scenarios cleared quickly. Is that like we might not get to see the attack, but oh boy, okay, we do so much, right? This is why it's like kind of like it also just has a damage multiplier on it in that almost every enemy does not have a good parameter in the water. Typically they're B or even C. And then a lot of flying enemies just don't have ways to attack into the water. Like, it's so safe. If you can use water terrain in these early games, it's one of the best things you can do. Okay, there we go. Like, there's got to be more to the scenario than just... The worry now is, though, that we're, like, deeply, deeply out of position. So if they are charging towards the base, then we're going to be in trouble. Okay, no, unless we get the rest of the team going. Okay, so we just launch in the Massinger. I mean, we're force deployed, so that doesn't necessarily say we're going to always launch in it. We'll see. All right, have we just already lost? Does this Douglas get to us? No, it doesn't. It's on the ground, so it's stuck on the forest. I do also really value the fact that most of these units are on the ground, so like flying being equality is just like way better. Where I feel like in later games, practically everything flies, so like it's just not a unique quality that things fly, so that's just one less way to differentiate units and like have things to plan around. But B, there's definitely still some like map design philosophy that assumes that you can't just fly over everything, and then when you can, it's like, oh, okay, so we just have like that little... It feels a lot more... Some of these scenarios feel a lot more like that little preschool map that we all had that had the like town on it, right? You know the one. Yeah, so sometimes these scenarios feel like that, where it's like everything's just sort of painted on the background, but it's like, okay, that's really cute. I need to like intentionally pretend to care about this terrain for it to exist. Alright, easy kills. I guess we're just always going to be doing this damage. Yeah, okay. Honestly, totally fine. If we can like knock out, right? Because I'm used to doing these in like 4-hour sessions now. If I can knock out like a lot of these back to back and we can just like get through this game quickly, I will not complain. Oh yeah, I guess we never actually looked at the Mazinger. I just like took for granted that we looked at the Mazinger. We just looked at its like cute little portrait. We didn't really do anything else. Okay. Yeah, so Majin Power is historically been at a morale threshold, probably like 120. You get 1.25. You get a quarter percent. You get a quarter more. Not quarter percent. You get a quarter more damage on top of whatever damage you were already going to deal. Where it gets applied in the equation is different per game. So right, sometimes it's like at the very end, so it's the worst, or sometimes at the very beginning where it's the best. Yeah, as predicted, we have no morale requirements. That's historically how this thing has worked. It's sort of been a counterpart to the Getter, where it of the super robots, it's one of the few that like starts being really good. Typically real robots start good and then super robots have to scale up, where the Mazinger starts good, you can kind of open with it, and then it's going to need some cooldown time, or it needs to run back to its 2 support units to like keep up, and then in the meantime you can have the Getter come in because it's sort of scaled up a little bit more. But we do have the breast fire, and that's going to be like roughly an approximation of the Grungust. I guess the Grungust is kind of a like Banpresto original take on the Mazinger more than like anything else, right? Because even like the laser looks very similar, where the laser is firing from looks very similar. Let's say, is this lethal? I can't wait to see how he's gonna flex. I love that the Mazinger just is like, yes, look at my biceps. Look at how small he is. He's so little. Darn, I was hoping I'd like solve this freezing problem with how I'd like address the OBS settings, but maybe it's just my computer. I probably need it. Oh, we're just gonna cut to a different scene. Okay. That's definitely a way to handle that. That's so much damage. Oh my word. Okay. I mean, maybe Majin Power is just always on. If Majin Power is just always on, we probably need to use the Mazinger. I guess it wasn't grayed out when we looked at it like stat screen. That's nuts. Okay, sure. We'll put the Bosporat next to it. We can't resupply it right now. But we can probably, well, we can next turn, especially if the Psy moves. Oh, no, none of these are going to move adjacent. Okay. So, because it doesn't actually care about its morale all that much, other than just, like, for the small percentage points it gives, we can, like, probably do something to the Zai next turn, and then resupply it afterwards. What I should have done was, I should have moved the Bosporat two to the left, like two spots to the left of them, or 2 spots to the left of where it is right now, 1 spot to the left of the Mazinger, because then the Mazinger could have moved forward to intercept where enemies were coming in, and then it would have also been able to resupply, and we could have used the breast fire to like get the best resupply possible. Oh, okay, this game is doing this too. I don't love this. It's like fun to make it feel really scary. But you see the enemy still has like question mark HP despite the fact that we were in combat with it. That just means it has more than 5 digits of HP, I'm pretty sure. That just, or it means that it's like overcapping the amount of numbers that the game can show. So I guess it can show 10 characters up there, right? So if it has 5 digits of HP, no, we've seen it do 26,000. It might be like the character width, like the kerning and the letting, and it might be what's causing that. But we will see that HP once it starts to like down. Sure, we can fire the just get her missile. I don't know. She's really difficult to shop for, but like she needs something to know that I need to get her something so that I didn't use the word get, darn it. I want to buy something to show her my appreciation. What should I do for her anniversary? I don't know, get her a missile? That was terrible. But see, like, this is what I'm talking about. We didn't block. This is uninvested, and they already took 10. I know the Grungus did this before, but that was like the tutorial scenario where like damage is definitely scaled up. Being in water is so good in these games because they actually let you interact by being in water. 1993, potentially the year this game came out. I don't know. No, I feel like Ava came out. Maybe I'm just wrong about this. I feel like Ava came out like the 2000s. Maybe just in 2000. Yeah, like that's so wild. We're gonna have I always come and holler over this, right? Because like you get the Mazinger and you get the Getter usually really early on in these games. They're usually always good. And it's like sometimes it's boring to use the same stuff all the time. Right? But like if you give me something that does 6k damage to open, like what am I supposed to do? Not use it? Okay. Let's pop you in a forest to keep you safer. And I think we start attacking this. Actually, no, hold on. Let's see if we can breast fire the side to death first. I'm more skeptical of it, seeing as we needed a crit to do it before, and the enemy also wasn't in a forest, and I think the Sai usually are tankier. Because if this isn't lethal, we can kill this with the Grungust, but if it is, if this isn't lethal, I would like to kill it as our first priority, but if it is lethal, then we can start chipping the boss.
Breast fire!
That probably is. Darn close, though. Yeah, with a crit, that probably would have been. I also gotta say, I don't love... Oh, I mean, I guess we also are just... Everything is just tanky. The Getter looks a little bit less impressive after that, but I'm still gonna refuse... I'm gonna make sure we all acknowledge what the Getter is doing, especially like the being in the water is a very big upside if you can do it. So because he is almost dead, I don't think we probably don't need to use the blaster. Though I don't mind using our rocket punch just because it is a guaranteed. Like it's 100% hit. And I think this will probably kill. Do you have any defensive abilities we got to worry about? I feel like I'm much more prone to check in these old games too, just because like these. You're ever out of position, gracious to these games make you know it. Especially for healing units. Like if I think I saw writing on the cover art for this box too. Cover box the art. I think I saw Ryan tweet on the box cover. And if we get the bloogers from that, these like little piddly little resupplying ships, they usually have like 500 health. If an enemy can kill it, they will run for it, and you lose those so fast if you have them out of position even slightly. The Methus suffers from this also. And then Diana can come here. Or sorry, no, this is not the Diana. This is the Aphrodite. I struggle so much with how they've opted to translate these things because she's not the Aphrodite. She's the Aphrodite, technically. Okay, what spirits we got access to? Yeah, so we can jump ourselves to the Daisetsu Zananoshi, but you know, we should do that. Let's do that. And we're gonna do this now because this is gonna give us 10. Well, this is gonna give us 10 morale to everybody. At least it should, based on how it's worked in the past. I guess I didn't see where. Oh yeah. So they're both at 138. So they must have jumped them up. And then when we separate, that is just like a little bit more damage for everyone to deal. You know. Oh, right, that's almost lethal. Okay, so yeah, we can kill both these this turn. So let's give this one to Hayato. We will then chip with Ryoma on the other one, and then give it to Masashi. We can probably also turn these attacks off. I'll turn the Ryoma one off, and then we'll hopefully I'll remember to show up the big cool thing I've been talking about all chapter. If not, I'm sure we'll have plenty of practice again. It's wild that these things are just Ryoma might just like kill them outright. Yeah, these numbers feel a little goobered up. I really hope we get to see some more potent named characters. I mean, like Baron Asura and Rocket, that's what his name was, are named characters, so like they could have had defensible stats, and maybe they just don't because like tutorial reasons. But or maybe that's what the expert points are, and I'll be crying uncle by the halfway point. Okay, cool. I wouldn't have been upset if we'd killed here. We could have just moved the getter over to the bosses. I should also figure out what the heck that thing's name is so I can like talk about it sincerely. I know it's shown up before too. This like Blizzard platform deal. But we'll look at that in a minute once we're done here. Back together. And well, okay. I guess the accuracy is like also just atrocious, but that's fine. We'll spin this wheel twice. We're favored for this hit, and if we do this like this turn on enemy phase, I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm pretty sure he said it was hard to hear because I got my audio down. My speakers are really low, so that the like game audio is not coming through my speakers and then going into my microphone. But like, look at that damage! Look at that damage! And we also weren't even underwater, right? Like that's gonna do even more when they're underwater. But like that's we're doing more now to start than we were in Y, and Y is like the new game that's supposed to have like all the big numbers. Oh, the die. That is what it's going to be doing. Yes, thank you. Have I been misreading this sprite? Is it like a guy on top of him? Did he bring his like pet cat dinosaurs with? Kind of. Someone took a battleship out of the water and just strapped it onto two like brachiosaurs? Is that a Yu-Gi-Oh card? Oh, yo, our field took place. Okay, so hopefully we don't kill it. We probably can't kill it. So we can try and start like interpreting or guessing what the barrier does. I'm sure Akarasu has it on their website, and I'm sure I also don't want to know the answer to it. I want to try and figure it out. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, I guess because it would have been showing, yeah, it would have been showing 11 characters. It couldn't show us 2 sets of 5 digits. Though I'm pretty sure it did for the what I'm gonna probably guess is Excelsior battleship we got at Scenario 0. Okay, so it fired. This is main cannons and then missile. So maybe it blocks range attacks. Maybe it blocks like projectile-based attacks. Oh no, okay, no, it attacked us at 1 range, so it had to have been missile. So maybe that just blocks like missile-based attacks. That could be. I don't think we need to like necessarily make room for other people. Right, the getter is going to be too far away, and we'll turn these off for now. I'll try and remember to turn it back on for the boss kill. Right, and then we can resupply now. Cool. Yes. Please hit me back so we can. I wanted to heal I wanted to get some XP on the Aphrodite. In the sky. That's only a move of 5. What if we go to 2? Oh yeah, no, never mind. We can get here. Oh, or not. That's fine. I guess we could have chipped with the Aphrodite, but that's fine. Everything's fine. We are out of energy here now, so we can switch to bird form. The G Hawk, I think is what it was called. The G Falcon Hawk. Hawk, yeah, Hawk. Great, yeah, and then we still have like a reasonable attack here. Yeah. I guess we could give it to the Getter 3. I'd rather give it to the Grungust just so that we can like have something else happen, right? Like just to like see a different unit, or like give us a unit that's like put resources on a unit that we are like more likely to use. I guess we can use the Hoshiryoku beam. Because I want to chip, I don't want to kill, to make sure the Grungus gets it. We can move the Getter over to the Bosporat to like get some healing, to get some resupplying, and then we can also heal some damage here somewhere before we kill the Grungus. Because these games also benefit a lot from like trying to like maximize your gains per chapter. Oh, okay. Well, that did nothing. Never mind. I could have chipped a little bit more aggressively. I suspect the breastburn probably would have killed. Maybe Majin Power isn't. I don't know. I'm gonna try not to get like too in the weeds about things here, though, just because I can't be like trying to figure stuff out about this game, why, and then also making scripted videos at the same time. Like, I'll play it with intentionality behind it, but at least for right now, I would say expect probably a little bit less numbers than I usually do, if you even think I do that much to start. We're not 100% vibe spaced, but right, but I will be able to like confidently say that this is like a 30% dodge chance or whatever, you know.
Get set! Go!
That was also like it was a pretty like recognizably English. Like the Japanese voice actors did a very good job of like speaking. Oh, okay, we do far less damage than I thought we were going to. That's fine. I was really underselling what needed to happen there. But we got it next turn. That's fine. Shame we're wasting a turn. I wonder if turn count will matter. I know some of these older games also like have a like end based on. Hold on. Yeah, we can use this without using energy. Right, because we'll go back up to 20 next turn. Then we could actually kill it next turn with the charge. I know some of these games have like last chapters that are locked behind efficient turn counts, which is like good for people like me that feels like a reward. Not only does it reward a like style of play that has to be more thoughtful, but B, it is also because we used energy from the barrier that we won't be able to get to that. That's unfortunate. But if it's like, well, you can get the scenario if you clear it in 250 turns, well, then you also know that you can clear the game in 250 turns, right? Okay, we'll drop back down to regular mode and see if we can do some more damage that way. Right, we can do, like, here, the rocket punch will probably still get the job done. Yeah, we'll just chain rocket punches. Although the Mazinger probably could have gone back and resupplied. That's whatever.
Rocket punch!
That is what I was saying. Like, I'll try not to be like too persnickety. Oh well, okay. Too persnickety about things because it'll work itself out. But that's not exactly what I wanted to have happen. That's the difference between those damages was astoundingly different. That was so much more dramatic than I could have expected for a propellant tank. And 8K is good. Was that Gogon? Yeah, Gogon. I don't recognize that character. Oh. Is it Gorgon? Because are they... That's a lot of voice acting. Ewan? Oh, yeah, I think he's from... Is he from Giant Robo? I don't remember. He might be from Giant Robo. Nah, the felt's calm. I know I said something else, but it's not there anymore. That's fine. But yeah, like I really wish the game would tell me whether or not I like got the SR point. I can't imagine that I did because I don't feel like I did anything special. But I also don't feel like I did anything special when I didn't get the Mazinger in scenario 2. So like maybe, and I feel pretty sure that's got to be the SR point for that one. I have to imagine it would have been maybe it's like hopefully it gives you like a roster at the end of the game that says like which ones you've accomplished. It must have been so cool to try and figure those out for the first time. If you had like you and a couple of friends playing it and you were all like trying to like math out or try and like figure out like, oh, is this what you do? Is this what you do? Would have been very cool. Okay, we can, I guess let's put the propellant tank on. Oh, why does this have an F on it? What's that F there for? That worries me. Okay, well, I was gonna say, let's put the propellant tank on the Mazinger, just because it's probably gonna need it a lot. And, sure, I guess take the S1 and we'll give it some more energy, I guess, theoretically. What do we have on the Grungust? No, we'll switch the repair kit out for the propellant tank S. And then put the repair kit on... Oh, we only have the Jaguar. Interesting. Or not Jaguar, is that the Liger? What is happening here? Do we only get to keep the Getter 2 bot? That's interesting. Okay. Right, we want to upgrade some stuff. Oh, no, sorry. Lost track of what was happening. I guess let's put this in the Mazinger then. And... like I said, we could increase... Actually, we should probably do that just because of how few units we have right now. Oh. the limit is also way higher on the smaller little jets, which makes sense. I guess that makes sense. So never mind, we won't increase that. And once we get the other two back, once we get the eagle and the boar back, then we can increase the limit. Though I'm pretty sure it will just transfer over to the rest of them. Like, it's not about like losing funds. It's just that like there's no like it's not a good use of our resources right now. We can pop some more into armor and a little bit more into energy. I think I'm pro that. Yeah, that seems fine. And just keep charging the Grungust up. Okay, that will wrap things up for me for chapter 3. Still enjoying the game. 30 count is rough in my mind, but I think this game is just going to be slower, so maybe I need to like reassess my expectations for turns. But yeah, still feeling pretty tutorial-y, still feeling like we're not... A lot of these things are taking a long time, not because they are challenging, but because like our accuracy is low, or things just have like really inflated HP, where I'm like being goofy and trying to like get kills places that, you know, we probably could have done this a little sooner. So yeah, but I was gonna say, otherwise it's like so far also pretty standard, like I was saying, with like getting Massacre and Getter early on. So I'm hoping to see some other like oddball standout weirdo units, just to get me to try some more things, or at the very least, like even if we've seen the unit before, like if you give me a Zeta Gundam, but it's like a different take on how it works, I would be delighted. But yeah, I will probably record one more of these tonight. So if you have any feedback between like episodes 1 through 4, don't expect for it to be incorporated until episode 5. I said it before, but it's probably a good reminder to hear. But like, and so I here's also your other reminder. I am still not looking at the SR points in case my babbling and my bungling things has not made that abundantly apparent. But let me know whether you like it this way or not. Whether you feel like I should go look it up to like give myself an extra objective. I am fine either way. I'm more interested in trying to produce something that you all want to see. So if you think it's more interesting to like force me to have to do things that are hard, then like I'm all for it. Or if you like hearing me have to try and think them out, and if later ones are also going to be like, you can probably figure this one out, buddy, like try it. Then we can rock with that. But yeah, like whatever you want, let me know. But expect it to take a little bit of time for me to get that implemented. But I will leave you there. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Hopefully this will be as popular and successful as R was, and we'll keep pushing into the future. So look forward to more of this in the coming week or weeks, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.